Hello gentlemen, welcome back. I'm dating coach Naz, and in today's video I want to talk about why nice guys finish last and how to change this. So if you are interested, then please keep on watching. So if you're a guy who has been kind, you have been respectful, thoughtful, and then you always find yourself stuck in the friend zone, or you're just struggling to attract the kind of relationship that you desire, then this is going to be just for you. So the first point that I want to make is that nice doesn't always equal attraction. Okay. And, just being nice doesn't always create that, you don't have that spark, that attraction, all of those kind of good things. And also there's a lot of other attributes that come along with attraction, right? Building a bond with a woman. And so there's actually a study, 2018, found that women are often drawn to men who exhibit confidence, assertiveness, and a sense of adventure. So not just kindness. Kindness is one of my non-negotiables is like right up here. If you're not kind, it's not going to happen. And so the reason why kindness, while kindness is important, it alone isn't enough to create a relationship, to create that spark, to create that, the chemistry with you and that other person. And by the way, I don't believe yes, chemistry and spark, all of those words are great. But the most important part is making sure you're aligned in that, in the relationship, you're compatible, right? So I just want to mention that as well. Now, so if you're solely relying on you being nice, you may be missing out on the traits that actually drive a romantic connection and that attraction. So the way to fix this is being kind is great, but don't let it overshadow your other essential traits such as ambition, confidence, and also emotional intelligence. So yes, kindness is great, but you need other attributes as well. So, for example, if you're constantly doing nice things for her without establishing your own needs or boundaries, that is when, you're going to be taken for granted, unfortunately. And it's like, pouring from an empty cup. You cannot be in a relationship where you're constantly giving, and that person is taking. So her needs are met, but then you're left, feeling drained, exhausted, chaotic in that mind because you're not grounded. You're not connected to yourself because you're just giving away your energy. And so the second point that I want to make here is you're not setting boundaries. This is one of the biggest reasons why nice guys, they struggle with creating relationships because they have a hard time setting boundaries or saying no to women because they want to be nice, right? And it sucks because, and nice guys are they're not mean, they're not like bad human beings, they just lack some boundaries. So if we just figure this out, a couple of these pointers, then you're going to be on your way to attracting a great relationship. So the nice guys often don't set clear boundaries because they want to avoid conflict. I honestly feel like every man on the planet wants to avoid conflict. If you're toxic, that's different. But if you're a healthy man, I feel like every man, you just don't want to fight, right? And also you're somebody who wants to make your woman happy at all costs, right? So that is a red flag when you just want to make her happy. And then you're forgetting that a relationship is a two-way street. It's not just all about her. It's about you as well. Now, the reason why this is a problem, there's a research on relationship dynamics that shows failing to set boundaries can lead to resentment. I've definitely felt this, and emotional exhaustion, right? And also people in relationships without boundaries tend to feel unappreciated and drained. So, and by the way, this is again not just going to affect your relationships, or it's going to affect all parts of your life. When you're a nice person, you really can't be a nice person in business or in work. You have to stand up for yourself, have boundaries with your friendships, with everybody. And so again, this is not just going to affect that woman, the relationship you have. It's going to affect all parts of your life, as everything is interconnected. Now, why you should avoid this is, if you're always putting her needs before your own, what you'll do is you'll eventually feel burnt out, right? And the relationship will lack balance. So it's going to be her taking everything, and then you over here giving her all the stuff, and you have nothing for yourself. Now, the way to fix this is to set clear boundaries at the very beginning when you're dating. This is why I always talk to clients, people, men, everyone. Set your boundaries at the very beginning. Don't wait until you're married and then start, stating your boundaries. I mean, if you're already in it and you just realize this now, yes, go ahead and do it. But this is for all the people that are newly getting into the dating world. Set your boundaries now. And if you're somebody who gets uncomfortable with setting boundaries, get into that. Ask yourself, go back into your past, get a therapist, because this is really huge to understand. Why is it so difficult for you to set a boundary? What happened in your childhood? What happened in your past relationships for you to believe that you're unable or you're not enough to create a boundary? Because a boundary doesn't mean that you're being a mean person. It just is telling the other person how to love you, right? And so it's very important to say no. Especially when something is not aligning with your values or your needs, right? If you're like, today I don't want to go out, today I don't want to show up, you have to communicate. And if somebody doesn't accept you for you stating your truth and for you looking after yourself, that person cannot be in your life, because they're not your well-wisher. They would rather see you, exhausted. They would rather see you they would rather cause you harm than see you just living, being happy and looking after yourself. So it really is very telling of that person that you're with. Now, for example, if you always agree, this is a big one, to last minute plans, that's inconvenient for you, but she never makes time, or she never makes time when you need it. This is a sign that the boundaries need to be established, because as you guys can notice here, it's imbalanced. She's behaving in a different way, and you're behaving in a different. You both are giving each other different things, and it's not a balanced relationship. And again, this is going to lead to resentment, blow-ups. The third point I want to mention is you're not showing your true self. This is like one of the biggest ones, right? So unfortunately, nice guys tend to put on a facade because you're trying to please her. If I act this way, then she's going to like me, and then she's going to accept me. Rather than just being your authentic self, even if it is flawed, even if it is not that pretty sometimes, but allowing her to see those parts of you. And if she again doesn't accept you for that version of you, your authentic self, who your soul came here to be, she's not meant to be in your life. And I think some people are in denial of realizing these things and are so attached to this idea of being in a relationship and like having a companion. Oh, I'm going to be lonely for the rest of my life. Yeah, but like, would you rather be alone, or would you rather be with somebody who does not accept you for who you really are? Which one? I think of myself on my deathbed. I'm like, I wish I listened to my intuition. I wish that I stood up for myself. I wish that I spoke up, So always think back whenever you're getting in your head and you're getting in your mind, think you're not here forever. So make sure that the people that are around you, they really love you for you, and you're not putting on a fake facade. So people can accept you for a version that is not aligned to you at all. There's a study again that's found that emotional authenticity in relationships leads to deeper, I think I've said this 10 million times by now, but leads to deeper emotional connection and higher satisfaction. Yes. Did you guys hear that? It leads to higher satisfaction. Yes, sex is great. All of those things are great. But what's going to lead to higher satisfaction in the relationship is emotional connection. It's a study. You got to Google it. All right. So when you're pretending to be someone you're not, it creates distance, right? And it prevents a relationship from being genuine. If you're not being your true self, she will eventually sense the disconnection, right? And the relationship will not have the foundation that it is needed for a long-term successful relationship. Or maybe she's just toxic and she's okay to just take away your energy, because that's what narcissistic people do. I don't know if you guys know this, but they are like vampires. They take your energy, constantly take. And so you might just be stuck in a toxic dynamic and just cursing your life every single day. There's so many men that I speak to every day, and they're like, I'm just living here because of my kids, and I just want to wait till I retire and then die. I'm like, is this happening right now? It blows me away. It actually makes me sad when people just wait till they die or they retire to then have to have boundaries and then to have fun. And yeah, it makes me sad. Anyways, the way to fix this is don't try to be someone you're not just to impress somebody, just for them to like you. You have to embrace your personality, your quirks, all of it. And the right woman will appreciate you for who you really are. It's like your tribe. She's going to find you. Your tribe is going to find you. Once you are your authentic self, you're going to notice that a lot of your friends, by the way, firstly, they're going to start dropping like flies. And then you're going to notice, the same time, you're going to notice people that start arising from the ashes. You're like, who is this person? And why am I having like such a good conversation with this person? And you're going to realize your values are more aligned. So as soon as you're authentic, it's scary. Not going to lie. It is scary to be authentic. It is scary to be real. But once you do it, you do a little bit of it, it's like you're unlocking something. And then you keep doing a little bit more and a little bit more. And then before you know it, you're your authentic self. For example, if you're pretending to be somebody who likes things just because she does, that's when you're not being true to yourself, right? And that's something to keep in mind as well. Now, the fourth point here is you're not taking the lead, right? So nice guys, often what they do is they wait for the woman to take lead. And so whether it is initiating contact, it is making decisions, it is moving the relationship forward, whatever it is, you wait for her to take the lead, which is it's not the best way to go, because as a man, you're the leader. And also it's a I know there's different relationship dynamics, and there's people out there that the woman leads and the man stays at home and looks after the kids. That happens as well, right? So it really depends on the kind of relationship that you're looking for, right? But if you're a nice guy, then I still want you to make sure that you are capable of making decisions. If you are in a healthy relationship and you're able to communicate and talk about these things, and then you both figure out, hey, you know what? My woman wants to do this and I want to do this, and those are the roles you guys choose. That's a whole different scenario, right? Now, why this is a problem? Because, so there's research that shows women are often attracted to men who take initiative, right? In a study that was published in 2018, women are more likely to pursue men who demonstrate leadership and also decisiveness. That to me is very sexy, and a lot of women, decisiveness and knowing what you want. The one thing women hate is when you're like, I don't know, I'm not sure. If you're always waiting for her to make the first move or lead, what it does is it can come off as lack of confidence within you. So it is key for you to take the lead. Also, when it comes to making decisions and showing interest, confidence and decisiveness are attractive traits. And when you're a nice man, usually these traits don't come along with being nice. And so this is where I think the messages get misconstrued. So for example, instead of always waiting for her to suggest plans, take charge. Make the plan. Right? Suggest a fun, adventurous date. Now, the last but not least, this one is huge, is that you are fearing rejection. And I deal with this with my men all day long, rejection. And that's one thing that we all need to just accept. Rejection is, I go through rejection just on YouTube. Like we all go through a form of rejection, no matter who you are, even if you're the most hottest, sexiest man with 10-pack abs, whatever, it doesn't matter, with a house and with a car and with, because I speak to these men all day long, men that are really, they have everything, but they still get rejected. So it doesn't matter if you're rich, if you're short, if you're tall, if you're big, if you're small. Every single man on the planet gets rejected. I just want you to keep that into your mind. I get rejected, and I'm a full package, baby. All right? So I'm being real. I'm not joking. Anyways, a lot of nice men fear rejection is because they avoid taking risks or expressing their true desires because they fear rejection. Like, what if I do show up as my true self? And what if I do state my desire and I get rejected? Right? They just can't handle that. And the reason why this is a problem is because fear of rejection can keep you, please listen to this, excuse me, can keep you from taking the necessary steps to build a strong connection. Okay, it keeps you in a loop of just living out of fear. And as I always mention this, in life, always ask yourself, are you making this decision out of fear or are you making out of love? Those are two different energies, right? There's a study that shows people who avoid rejection are more likely to stay stuck in unfulfilling situations, fearing vulnerability or risk. That's pretty wild. And this is literally what I see every day. Men that are scared of rejection, they tend to, they tend to be afraid of going up to a woman and starting up a conversation because they're scared. What if she says screw you or something, which is, by the way, never really happens. These days, men do not have the audacity or they're just too scared to go up to a woman. I mean, if you are a man who, because this is just what I hear. Okay, by the way, maybe I'm wrong, but if you are a man and you go up to a woman, let's say at a gym, this actually happened to me the other day, which is great. But if you're at a gym and you go up to women, or if you just go up to women in general, like at a coffee shop, and you go start up a conversation, I want you to put it down below. I want to know, are there men out there anymore that speak to women in person? Because I don't hear about it. I mean, okay, I did have that happen a couple of days ago. So, but in general, does that happen? Do you guys do that? And if you don't, why don't you do it? And if you do, are you successful at it? I would love, love, love to know, and I would love to have a conversation about this because I really want us all to find love. Now, why to avoid this? If you're always holding back because you're afraid of rejection, you're not giving the relationship the chance to evolve or to be what it needs to be, right? So you're always, again, you're threading, you're like, I don't know, you're nervous, you're anxious, you're stuck in your mind, instead of just living and what if she doesn't like me for who I am? Great. That means I'm that much closer to meeting my soulmate. This is where I'm saying it's all about your mindset. It's all about how you speak to yourself. You have to be your own cheerleader. If you do face rejection, which all of us do, face it with confidence. And know that the rejection does not have anything to do with your worthiness as a human being. Sometimes this is where if you're more spiritual, it's going to help you out. Because if you just believe that everything is meant to happen at the right time, there is something that is guiding all of us, whether you believe it or not, it really is. And so if you're going to be thinking the woman doesn't like me because I'm not enough, but instead if you just say, you know what, it's just not my time yet, or maybe she's not, if I did end up being with her, then there would be, it wouldn't end that well. If you have that mindset, things change and you don't remain stuck in your mind constantly what if I did this, what if I did that, why didn't it work out? And And also just accepting the fact that rejection is part of dating, and forget dating, it's part of life. Whether you're in business, whether you're at work, whether you're any aspect of life, you're going to get rejected. Now, for example, if you're avoiding to ask her out, if you're in fear that, she might say no, the thing is, right, you're missing out on a chance to form a meaningful connection. Because, like, guess what? What if she is your soulmate? What if she is the one for you? But because of that fear, you're holding yourself back. Just take these 5 points that I have mentioned. Keep that in the back of your mind. And if you found this video helpful, please hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and also share this with somebody who really needs to hear it. If somebody's struggling in your life, share it. And also, what do you think? Are you a nice guy? Because if you are, I would like you to let me know in the comments below. And that's it. I'm gonna end the video here, and I'm gonna see you guys in my next video.